Have you ever dreamed of winning your very own private jet? I mean, a real, flying, multi-million-dollar machine that can take you anywhere in the world. We got our hands on a beautiful Hawker 400 XP, worth a cool $2.4 million. This wasn't just any prize, it was a life-changing opportunity. The seats were plush leather, the interior was sleek, and the engines were ready to roar. We polished it until it gleamed under the sun. This jet was the ultimate symbol of freedom and success, and I decided to give it away in one of the biggest challenges we have ever created on our channel. 100 people would start, but only one would fly away with the keys. We gathered 100 certified pilots from all over. These weren't just random people, they were professionals who had spent their lives in the sky. To them, a jet isn't just a luxury, it's a passion. Imagine 100 experts, all standing in a massive hangar, their eyes locked on the grand prize. The air was buzzing with excitement and nervous energy. Each pilot had their own story, their own reason for wanting to win. Some wanted to start their own charter business, others wanted to travel the world with their families. The stakes were incredibly high from the very first moment they all arrived. Our first challenge was designed to test pure strength and teamwork. We told the 100 pilots that they had to pull a massive 40,000-pound airplane across a finish line. Think about that for a second. An entire airplane, pulled by human power alone. We split them into teams, and right away, you could see the leaders emerge. They had to work together, shouting commands and pulling with every ounce of their strength. It was an unbelievable sight. The teams that couldn't get their airplane moving or were too slow were immediately eliminated. It was a brutal way to start, but it showed who had the grit to continue. This opening test was more than just a physical battle, it was a mental one. It forced these pilots, who are usually captains of their own ships, to become part of a larger crew. They had to coordinate, communicate, and trust each other completely to move the immense weight. The ropes strained, faces turned red, and the sound of 100 people grunting and shouting filled the airfield. It was a powerful display of what people can achieve when they work together toward a single goal. Those who made it through were exhausted, but their eyes showed a new level of determination. They had survived the first cut. After the airplane pull, only 19 pilots remained in the competition. For their next test, we wanted to see if they could handle the raw power of a jet engine. We had them stand in a line while we fired up a massive engine just a short distance away from them. The goal was simple: withstand the roaring 60-mile-per-hour winds without getting blown away. The force was incredible, kicking up dust and debris and making it hard to even stand upright. It felt like being in the middle of a hurricane. One by one, pilots who couldn't hold their ground were literally blown out of the competition. The survivors of the wind tunnel faced a challenge that tested their nerve and their ability to read people. We took them up in an airplane for a skydiving bluffing game. The 10 remaining pilots were paired up. One person in each pair was given a briefcase. Inside, it either said jump or eliminate. The person with the case had to convince their partner they had a jump case. Their partner could either trust them and jump from the plane with a parachute, or they could steal the case for themselves. It was a high-stakes game of trust, with the sky as the backdrop. The only way to move on was to parachute down to the next round. This challenge was all about psychology. Could you lie with a straight face? Could you tell if someone was bluffing when your spot in the competition depended on it? We saw some incredible moments of deception and some surprising acts of trust. Some pilots confidently opened their cases to reveal a jump ticket and shared the victory with their partner. Others tried to trick their opponent, only to be found out. In the end, 10 parachutes opened in the sky, carrying the finalists toward the last stage of the competition. The pilots who got eliminated watched from the plane as their dream floated away. From 100 pilots, we were now down to just 10. These individuals had proven their strength, their endurance, and their cunning. They had pulled an airplane, stood against a jet blast, and gambled on a jump from thousands of feet in the air. Their journey was far from over, though. For the final challenge, we flew all 10 of them to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. They stepped off the plane and saw the grand prize waiting for them on the tarmac. Their final test was about to begin, and it would be the longest and most mentally draining one yet. The final challenge was a test of pure endurance. The rules were simple. Be the last person with your hand on the private jet. The 10 finalists placed their hands on the cool metal surface of the Hawker 400 XP, and the clock started. They couldn't lift their hand for any reason. If they did, they were out. The sun beat down on them during the day, and the desert air grew cold at night. Hours stretched into what felt like days. They had to eat, drink, and stay awake, all while keeping that physical connection to the prize they so desperately wanted to win. To make things even harder, we added mini challenges throughout the endurance test. At one point, we made them balance on one foot for an extended period. Imagine trying to do that after being awake for over 15 hours straight. Then, we told them they could only use a single finger to touch the jet. The strain was immense, both physically and mentally. Sleep deprivation started to set in, and you could see the exhaustion on their faces. One by one, pilots reached their breaking point, their hands slipping from the jet as they were eliminated from the competition. As the hours ticked by, the group of 10 dwindled. Some gave up due to sheer exhaustion, while others were tricked into lifting their hands during our surprise twists. After nearly 24 hours without sleep, only 3 pilots remained. Jabbar, a seasoned pilot with a calm demeanor, another determined contestant, and one more who was visibly struggling but refused to give up. The sun was rising on a new day, and these 3 were still standing, their hands firmly planted on the jet. They had outlasted everyone else, pushing their bodies and minds to the absolute limit. We decided to end the endurance test and present them with a final shocking twist. I walked up to the 3 exhausted finalists and gave them an ultimatum. They had 1 hour to unanimously decide which one of them deserved to win the jet. If they couldn't come to an agreement, then nobody would get the prize. The jet would go to waste. Suddenly, the competition was no longer about individual endurance, but about negotiation, empathy, and compromise. They had to look each other in the eye and make a decision that would change one of their lives forever. The final 3 pilots were put in an impossible position. How do you decide who is most deserving after everyone has gone through so much? They talked, they debated, and they shared their personal stories. Each had a compelling reason for wanting the jet. Realizing that they might not be able to agree and risk losing the prize for everyone, they decided to leave it up to fate. They opted for a random draw. We brought out 3 briefcases. 2 were empty, but one contained a golden ticket that represented ownership of the $2.4 million jet. The tension was at an all-time high. Each of the 3 finalists chose a briefcase. They stood side by side, their hearts pounding. On the count of 3, they opened them. 2 pilots opened their cases to reveal nothing inside. But Jabbar, one of the pilots, opened his, and there it was, the golden ticket. He had won. The wave of relief and joy that washed over him was incredible to see. After a grueling series of challenges that tested his strength, nerve, and endurance, a moment of pure chance had made him the owner of a private jet. It was a wild end to an even wilder competition. The video of the competition was a huge hit, but it also started a lot of conversations online. Many people were thrilled by the sheer scale of the challenge and congratulated Jabbar on his amazing win. However, some viewers raised concerns about the environmental impact of giving away a private jet. Private jets are known to produce a significant amount of pollution, and people questioned if it was a responsible prize. It sparked a debate about the intersection of entertainment and environmental responsibility, which is an important discussion to have in today's world. In the end, Jabbar's story had a heartwarming conclusion. After winning the jet, he made a decision that surprised many. Instead of keeping the luxurious plane for himself, he chose to sell it. He explained that the money from the sale would be far more valuable to his family and their future than the jet itself. His victory wasn't just about winning an extravagant prize. It was about securing a better life for the people he loved most. Jabbar's journey from one of 100 competitors to the ultimate winner became a story of endurance, luck,